everyone, and welcome to the Health IT Playground, where we talk about all things health IT as well as HIM. So, as you guys know, I talk a lot about a particular organization, the HFMA, and I am very excited because today we have them here with us to answer questions about their organization, membership programs, etc. So, hope you guys are in for a great treat here. Grab some snacks, whatever you need to do, and let's learn about this organization some more. So before I get into questions, I want to give them a proper introduction. So I am going to be reading here so that I don't miss any of these accolades. So I have not one, but two representatives here from HFMA. So first off here, I have Tracy, and Tracy Benway is actually the Vice President of Member Experience at HFMA, Healthcare Financial Management Association, for those that don't know what that means. And she leads strategies, she leads strategies that strengthen member engagement, volunteer leadership, and community development. She has over 20 years of experience in healthcare finance and 10 years in association management. So she is passionate about creating meaningful experiences that connect professionals, foster collaboration, and deliver measurable values. She has led innovative initiatives that integrate technology, community, and leadership development to build scalable programs that support the evolving needs of healthcare finance professionals nationwide. So we actually have here the VP of Member Experience, and bonus here, we also have the Director of Learning Experience here, Michael Grant. So let's learn about him first here. So he is, like I mentioned, the director of learning experience, and he is passionate about learning and about development, and he has over 20 years of experience designing, implementing, evaluating, and managing comprehensive global learning programs that are focused on business impact and measurable outcomes. He has proven success in transforming and reimagining learning experiences, aligning learning initiatives with go-to-market or GTM strategies for achieving business goals, driving performance, and enhancing membership engagement. So he has helped to lead cross-functional teams and developed effective solutions for Fortune 500 companies. And he's also a former college instructor and department chair. And he has also presented as well to major conferences for many years. So he does have a MFA here in digital production arts from Clemson University. And I'm currently in South Carolina, so I know what that means. And he also has earned his highest designation of being a certified professional in talent development. So guys, these are not small dogs here. Please welcome here Tracy Benway and Michael Grant to to this program. Just, snaps from where you are. And we're going to go ahead and start this conversation. So I'm just starting off here for those that are watching and has never heard of HFMA. How would you introduce this organization? What exactly does this mean for healthcare and finance?
I would describe HFMA as a professional home for healthcare finance. Thank you, by the way, for having us today. It's more of a privilege to be on your program. You are truly the MVP. We're just here to support the need to know more about HFMA. But healthcare finance is incredibly complex. And so when you're looking at all the regulations, reimbursement, technology changes, AI is changing the workforce and the workflow. And no one succeeds by doing it alone. So having an association to kind of build a community around, I was a member of HFMA before I started with the organization, and the community and the collaboration that you have is really priceless. The connections to the people with the education, certifications that Michael will talk about a little bit, but the peer network and practical resources that help build confidence throughout your career is invaluable. And one thing that I will just say, HFMA isn't just an association, we are a community. The community really does come together, and there's different times of your career that really impact. So if you're an emerging leader all the way up to a CFO, there is something for you in the community for at HFMA. Michael, would you add anything to that?
I think you did a great job summing it up.
Awesome.
Yes, I agree. I was a member as well. And that's how the CRCR thing happened for me. And yes, there was a lot of great events and things like that. So I definitely can agree with what you just said. So what type of roles, career paths will be typical for someone to consider becoming a member of this organization? Is it for everyone or is it for a particular niche?
I think it's for everyone. I will say that changing is the really exciting thing. And so I think that HFMA continuing, like I mentioned, through all types of roles. Historically, many members came from hospital finance departments or revenue cycle teams. Today, we're seeing professionals across like patient access, even pharmaceutical, reimbursement, managed care, physician practices. We have payers that are coming to help us. We have technology companies, but we also have strategic partners. Our business partners are very involved because they're the solutions and some of the guidance that help our healthcare systems really go through that finance journey. The one thing that I'm really excited about is exploring the student healthcare careers. And we just had the University of Miami present at our annual conference. We partnered with them on a project around the Big Beautiful Bill. So they took their own kind of look at it, gave their expertise on what they thought, and we gave them a stage to present on. So there's an opportunity also to be visible. And they had the network of a couple thousand, like 3,000 of their favorite friends in a very, unique situation. So there's opportunities for those emerging leaders. I would say today too that healthcare finance touches nearly every decision in the hospital.
Yes.
So HFMA has become more of a place where many different disciplines learn together. That would be the biggest change from when I started with HFMA until where we're at now. The evolution is really having that different disciplines learning together in a solve-based community.
And in terms of membership, because I have an audience of, different areas, careers, I have students, I have folks that's been in healthcare for 10, 20 years. So is there a breakdown when it comes to the types of memberships that are available? If I'm a student, do I pay less, right? If I'm if I'm seasoned, is there a place for me? How does that look?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we have several different tiers of membership. One is students. Students are at a lesser dollar amount, but I would encourage the students to get involved at their local chapters because there's free memberships available if they just volunteer, like a micro volunteer opportunity. So there's scholarships available for that, and they have to do like maybe sit at a registration desk or help with like programming. It gives them opportunity to meet individuals throughout the industry, but it gives them kind of hands-on experience as well for a free membership. For a professional member, we have provider, which is considered somebody that's in a health system, and then we have business partner. There's two different tiers. So if somebody's a business partner, they're the solution that individuals are looking for to help solve things in the hospital systems. So there's different tiers for the amounts. I would tell any individual that is thinking about joining is not to try to do everything at once.
Okay.
So kind of start to join the local chapter or attend a few webinars. But the biggest thing is to meet people, even if it's virtually or in person. Explore that, and then also explore our certifications. Our certifications, the badging that comes along with that is exciting. The HFMA articles come out every week. I actually read more of those now that I'm internal, which I wish I would have more read when I was a member, because it does give you the here and now of what's going on. So using it as a platform to really recognize, where you're at in your journey, but building relationships and learning from your people doing the work every day. So, like the same individuals that are doing the work every day.
Yes, and you touched on my next question already about the values that being a member brings. So thank you for doing that. Um, and what would you say? And for me, I would probably say networking, but in your opinion, what do you think is the most valuable part of being a member of HFMA?
So I would say when I was a member, the most valuable thing I had was I used HFMA as my career development, where I could make mistakes at HFMA that I couldn't make at my current organization. And what I mean by that is when I volunteered in committees and different things, I served on boards. I learned some governance structures. I didn't have to ask my peers at work, and I didn't have to, I was in a physician partnership situation, so I had a lot of physicians. And I didn't have to ask them how to lead the board meetings, how to lead the partnership meetings. I asked my peers at HFMA, so it was a safe space for me to grow as a younger leader. And I think that was the most beneficial for me within my career path, as well as my mentors. I still have breakfast with one of my mentors
Oh,
here, and I'm in St. Louis. And he took me under his wing right away. He was a CFO, very, very experienced. He's retired now, so he has a lot more time on his hands. He's been retired for probably like 15 years. But the connection is important. And now I'm filling a role, not as him as my mentor, but for somebody to keep him busy, right? Like I'm like, oh, I can have breakfast with you or that type of thing. So I think it's those connections, just keeping knowing that your network has really become more of a family. And that was very I wouldn't say important, but I would say that was the most influence I had when I was a member.
awesome. And just moving along here, along this journey, I do want to talk about the way that I actually found you guys, and that was through certifications. I was applying for a job and I saw that they preferred someone that had a certification that was actually under your organization. And I was just like, oh, well, what's that? And then from there, I kind of went in there and then became a member and, kind of evolved from there. So can you talk about the different because there's a lot of certifications out there. And so just to talk more about the different options and just a common question I also get is how do you know which one to do, which certification? So just helping those that are watching understand which ones they should actually work toward. So that was a double question there for you there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll jump in here. Yeah, Juliet, thank you so much for seeing the value in our certifications. We're very proud at HFMA headquarters of the different certifications and range of learning assets and resources that we have available to our members. And we're especially proud of the fact that most of our learning assets are all access to our members and students. And the one you specifically mentioned that you've earned, so congratulations, by the way, in earning our CRCR. You are one of 32,000, over 32,000 professionals that have earned that CRCR credential and designation. And so we have a total of 10 certifications. So if you just simply go to hfma.org and you click at the top, you'll see education and events. You'll see some different sublinks to all of the different major categories of learning resources that we provide to our members. You'll see certifications. You'll see a link to the micro credential that we currently have on AI governance. And then also you'll see, different conferences and events that Tracy mentioned that we also offer throughout the year. So a wide range of resources and opportunities to learn and stay connected to our membership. So we have a total of 10 certifications. Most of them are all access to members, which is free. There are a few that, do require an additional cost, such as our micro credential and AI governance. It's a small, nominal cost, but we do have some reasons for the need to charge, especially when we have partnership arrangements with external organizations and subject matter experts. And then also one of our certifications, the CHCRS, also requires an additional fee. But we have a wide range from, CRCR to CHFP, Certified Healthcare Finance Professional, which is very popular. It's our second highest earned credential of the 10 that we have. For those that have extensive experience and expertise, as far as executive tracks, we have an executive in revenue cycle management. And we also certification. We also have another one in the HFMA, which is a fellow. So those require significant years in the profession and contributions to the profession as well.
Yeah, I would just add on that if you're looking to broaden your healthcare finance expertise across the business of healthcare, the CHFP would be the one that I would recommend. The CRCR is focused on revenue cycle and gets huge, like Michael said, but the one that if you're looking to broaden your entire healthcare finance, the CHFP holds a lot of credibility in the market.
Awesome. And I get this question a whole lot. Um, Yeah, Juliet, you passed. That's great. So what did you do? How long did it take? Do you need to buy books? Like what's going on? And I had a great experience in terms of having everything that I needed right in the actual system. So it was kind of on me. Like it's based on your own time frame, how much effort that you put into it. So I've answered this 1,000 times, but I will say it again here for those that are watching. You don't have to buy a whole bunch of extra stuff. They have it organized and there's videos and it's just a very interactive experience when you are trying to prep for these certifications. The questions are going to challenge you, but as long as you did the work and you actually, prep properly, then you should be good to go on that. Anyone want to add anything to what I just said? I know that was just kind of random
Yeah, I
comment
will
there.
say, Juliet, as well, that something very significant and exciting happened earlier this year.
Oh,
We went live with a brand new state-of-the-art learning management system,
okay.
and we also enhanced all of the certifications that we offer. And so, we've heard a lot of really good feedback from our members, especially some that said, "Hey, I started a certification the end of last year, and then, it was a pleasant surprise earlier this year when." I saw that, all of the learning has been enhanced with even more interactive exercises, even more engagement, kind of avatars and videos and all of the different bells and whistles that makes for a really engaging and highly memorable learning experience. Then also with our new learning management platform, it's mobile responsive fully. So we're really in the process and have the capability now to promote learning on the go and
Yes.
learning in the flow of work for our members and students, which is very important and something that they have been asking for a little while now.
Well,
Yes.
and another thing I'll just add to that, Michael also has implemented some bite-sized learning, which is nice when you just have a few minutes or, not an entire hour or two. There's some opportunities there with some bite-sized learning as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how does all of these certifications translate into reality, right? I could take an exam, I passed it, okay, cool. Now what, right? How, from your experience of your members and folks that have passed, how has these certifications helped them in their careers? That's a question I get all the time. So I wanted to ask
Yeah,
that.
and that's some feedback that we get all the time too, is, I think many of us, no matter what our industry is in, can probably see value in networking, in building strong relationships with people, especially that have the results that we're seeking and aspiring to, right? And so that's the case here at HFMA. So many of our members have said, wow, the opportunity to earn a certification and obtain it has signaled to my employer and my hospital healthcare system that I can commit myself to achieving something significant, and I'm committed to lifelong learning and continuous growth. But membership in itself unlocks the door to networking, to meaningful relationships. And a lot of our members have said that that's been just as valuable as preparing and earning the certifications themselves. The opportunities to collaborate at the chapter level, at the region level, with colleagues that are kind of maybe in the same, level and kind of position that they're in, or even more, advanced. And, it's a conversation starter in interviews, but it's also an opportunity to, look at promotional opportunities. Several of our members and leaders in our membership have said that, that it's a requirement for advancement to
Yeah.
have at least one or two of our 10 HFMA certifications. So, it's exciting to hear that kind of feedback from our members in terms of their growth and the value that our certifications and other learning opportunities has provided them for their career.
One thing I would add on to that is that business partners also can get certified in the same areas, and it gives credibility. So
Yeah.
if you are on the business partner vendor side that is a supplier to the hospitals, getting your credentials also gives some credibility when you're going into those facilities because they know that you are educated in what they're trying to achieve.
Yes, I agree with all of this. I actually had a conversation with the student, and they were reaching out because they had to get their CRCR in order to keep their job. It was a
Mhm.
requirement, and it's not all organizations, but there are some that value this org so much that they make your certifications a requirement. So I just think for those that are into healthcare finance and want to really grow, this is the sector that you definitely want to explore further and just try to stir it up if possible. I've seen some folks with like all of the certifications almost, because you guys have a great system where you give your members access to so many resources. What are your viewpoints on those that have like 5 or 6 or 7 of them? Do you really need that many certifications to be successful? This is a just a off the cuff question. I've seen folks that kind of just do all of them, and I don't really see them using it. So, what's your recommendation on how many would make sense to take?
I think that it's, case specific for each member and especially the organization and the culture of the organization in which they work for. Like Tracy mentioned a minute ago, credibility. It
Yeah.
just really helps to bolster your credibility to say, hey, especially if your organization has paid for your membership, they're an enterprise member, why not? Right? Why not continue to push yourself to demonstrate your interest and understanding the big picture and how increasingly interconnected healthcare is nationally, right? And so you're expressing a commitment and an investment and really understanding how all of the different functions and from a systems thinking perspective, right? That's music to a leader's ears.
Yeah.
Is wow, you're wanting to take the initiative and show systems thinking and understand and gain expertise in how all of the different functions work together collaboratively for our organization's financial health and that impact, right? And how to increase the satisfaction of our patients and different entities that we work with. And so I think that it doesn't hurt, and I think that it definitely helps and bolsters your credibility in your commitment to lifelong learning and understanding the big picture of healthcare.
Okay, and you guys have answered most of my questions, so I'm literally skipping down to the bottom of my list at this point. You mentioned the AI governance micro credential already, and you guys know, as we all know, AI is kind of taking over the world right now. So outside of that AI governance micro credential, are there any other things that this org is doing to help their members prepare for the changes that is already happening around us in terms of the use of AI and this and just healthcare finance in general?
So we just had a AI workshop at our annual conference, and we're going to be partnering with someone to help us with some AI content,
Yeah.
along with we have executive councils that meet on a regular basis, and they're the executives of different areas of your organization. So we have anywhere from like financial analytics, reimbursement, pharmaceutical, patient access, revenue cycle, large system, different ones in large systems, controllers, strategic CFOs, that type of thing. And they convene to do solve based, like things.
Okay.
So they're the things that keep them up at night. They're setting the agenda. They're able to meet. They're able to do that peer to peer conversations in a safe space where it's not recorded. It's not being given out to articles and white papers only if they approve it. So we do have articles and white papers that come out of that.
Okay.
But that we're definitely moving forward with some areas with AI. It's in our strategic plan. It's in our business plan for this year. So you'll see a lot more coming out in the next few months.
Okay. And just as a summary of what I have learned, and hopefully the audience has learned from this conversation, HFMA is an organization that is really for anyone, whether you are an expert or pro already on this side of healthcare, or maybe you're just thinking about it. Volunteering locally at your chapter to just learn more about the organization would be a good first step for someone that maybe is on the fence. You do have membership. Membership gives you access to all of, there's 10 certifications, some, maybe not all of them being covered, but the majority of them
Most of them,
being
yes.
something that you can do if you are a member. Now, if you are not a member, but you want to do the cert, you can pay for that one cert. And that's how I started. And then I became a member anyway. But then, yeah, and then you have the option to do that. And then you guys have conferences. You guys provide a lot of information, local networking meetings, etc. So this is really just a great community to be a part of if you're considering being in the healthcare finance space, or, you know, already in it, right? Just wherever you are, student, professional, it's just the place to be. Is that a good summary, or am I missing anything?
Yeah, I think the one that, I think you did an exceptional job of summarizing everything. I think if everyone just took a few minutes and went out and visited hfma.org, then explore the career resources, but also the certifications we talked about. There is a area at the bottom that says find your chapter. That is where the local and regional community is. And that really is helpful to find an event that's local, find something and introduce yourself to one person. So that would be, if you want to just explore a little bit, there's opportunities there.
Yes, and I will be very sure to share all of the links for this organization in the description. So, becoming a member, finding a local chapter, all that information will be placed at the bottom. If you've watched this interview and you're like, oh, I would love to become a member, this sounds amazing, then I do have a little gift for you. There is a promo code. So if you sign up to become a member and you put in RHIAE 26, you will get a discount on your membership. Okay. My gift to you. You welcome. So definitely check it out, and just learn, grow, and keep us posted on, all things that happen. If anyone has any questions outside of this conversation, who should they contact to just ask any questions about this organization? Is there a support line, or who would they need to
There
contact?
is. Yeah. So there's an inquiries at hfma.org, and that's the email, or member services at hfma.org. And both of those email boxes, you're more than welcome to email me. It's just my first initial, my last name at hfma.org. So Tianwei at hfma.org. I'd be happy to get you to the right location if you have any questions. But thank you for having us today.
Yes, thank you, Juliet.
Perfect. And thank you guys for watching this episode. And please like, subscribe, and check out HFMA. All right. So I'll see you guys somewhere on the internet per usual. And you guys have a lovely day. Thank you, HFMA team. And thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.